the meeting to order of the Newbury Cultural Council. Everyone say aye, aye. I don't know if we're even supposed to vote on it. Yeah,
Attendance.
so,
Yay.
attendance, so I guess I could do that without anybody knowing who's not here so far. So
Well,
Bart and Lloyd, right?
We just say our names, so you say Michelle Vett,
Okay, Michelle Willette.
Jean Anderson.
Margaret Russell.
Amy Thurlow.
Robin Lawson.
Marguerite Flanagan.
Okay, and then maybe we'll vote to approve the minute meetings from
Yep,
August 13th.
yes,
And the only change that I had was that Margaret was not there.
Right,
Right.
correct, September 13th?
Sorry, yes.
Okay, good, yes. I
Yeah,
was
you
not-
had her listed twice, I think, both absent
You did.
and present.
Yes,
you did.
I think I did.
You covered the bases.
Just gotta make sure it's smooth. And then there was one other thing I wanted to bring up. Oh, just a reminder, so we don't forget. So on the calendar, I put in March 20th and June 12th as the next two coming meetings, starting at 5:30. So they're both on the calendar already.
great, thank you.
June 12th, you said?
March 20th and June 12th. We were originally gonna do it the week after, but it's Juneteenth is a holiday, so the town hall will be
And then time,
5:30.
5:30. Here?
Yes, and I only booked it for an hour.
They have to be here now, Robin, because of the recording thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
If you didn't hear, I got the Wi-Fi password, it's Newbury Friends, all one word, lowercase.
Newbury Friends.
Yeah, and it's, I think, Newbury Town Hall Public, or something like that.
What is it, Newbury Friends,
Yep, all one word.
period?
I was leaving the house and I said, I'm 99% sure it's a town hall. But I'll be wrong. Whichever choice I make, I'll be wrong.
Well, luckily, it's not far from you either
I
way.
was thinking, well, first I was thinking I was left from here, or we would say, oh, Robin, and you live the closest by and you're late.
We expect that, that's the way it always is.
So maybe we can just recap, so this is the voting meeting for
Yep.
the upcoming FY '23 for Mass Cultural Council, and we had 23 applications.
Yep.
We are funded for $5,600 for FY '23, however, we have a total of $7,500 and 7515.
Yep.
And we have received a grand total requested of $13,273.
Correct. Note also that I put in, as I did last year, $150 for miscellaneous admin costs, which paid for Minnie's flyer, you know, the sign. Last year can pay for whatever you need it to next year, within reason, of course, no new cars. Anything else?
150 admin costs is not in the,
It is included in that, it deducts it, yep.
okay, I'm sorry, it's in the 13,273?
No, the 7515 includes that deduction,
Oh, okay.
yep.
So we still have some 500.
Oh, I see, okay, got it.
So when I fill out the form, I fill out that, and if there's internal, if we do a every town day sort of thing, that would be included there, et cetera. So all of those come out, and then they put in whatever was left over from, not last year, but the year before, to come up with the 7515.
So maybe it would be good just to, on the onset, to verbally let us know who needs to recuse themselves from what discussion? And should we
Yep,
have discussions on those first?
let's discuss how
How you want to do the whole,
it worked last year, what we
Yeah.
did last year, which will, I think, answer your question about whether to grant or not to grant.
Do you want to
So
vote on
if
the
it's,
minutes?
sorry?
Do you want to vote on the minutes?
I
oh
did.
yeah.
Oh,
You
did
did
we
vote.
vote? Oh,
You
we
did
didn't
vote.
vote, sorry.
Yes,
Aye.
Thank you,
sorry.
Assistant
Just wanted-
Secretary.
We just assumed that correction meant yes.
So, vote to approve the September 13 minutes with the change of having Margaret absent.
Correct.
Second, yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
All approved.
okay, sorry.
Okay, no, thank you. Robert's rules is, I am not a good Robert's rules person.
So an initiative can be funded, a council, regional council, town council, can be funded for up to 20% of our grant, which Michelle said was 5,000 and change. And an initiative is something that all of the council participates in, and it's generally a thing that we all do. So So last year, Newburytown Day, we all participated in that. And that's why last year we gave you $600 from the council, and you had a separate grant for $600. To get funding for an initiative, you do not fill out a grant, because if you fill out a grant, then you have to recuse, we all have to do those forms. So it's much less formal, to do it the other way. That's why if you could pull your grant, or I can just decline it.
I just decline it.
Okay.
Yeah, and
You know what, though? I don't think I can, because I need a reason that falls under either our reasons or the state's reasons, and there's no reason other than,
we'll make it up.
no, I can't do that.
No, I mean, I need to look at what's.
I think you have to go in to Smart Simple.
Okay, you know what, I'll figure it out.
I think, there should be a,
Yeah, I probably can just go into Smart
she made it
Simple
sound like it was super simple.
and just, just withdraw the application
Yeah,
from Newbury.
yeah, and we can look at it after the meeting if you want.
No, I can figure it out, no worries.
I'm just gonna withdraw it at this point.
So then we should start, I think, with deciding whether we want to provide Newburytown Day with funding and for how much.
Okay.
Okay.
Because that then will come out of the 7515.
Sure.
And so how much was Robin's request?
Robin's was 600 and we gave 600 last year.
Okay, but she's withdrawing that. Okay,
But it's 600 is within what we can allocate.
Yes.
correct,
Yes.
but, and it has to be for something specific,
It has to be
correct?
something specific,
Okay.
yeah. So
Oh,
did
that's
you,
right.
so I sent you an email with that, did you think of what you,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to
Does
share?
Robin
I
have,
would be happy to share. Pardon me?
can Robin can be part of
She
this?
can be,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
Yeah, because it's an
Yeah,
initiative of the
okay.
council. Which actually, that, just as a side note, we talked to our previous contact, whose name is Mina Kim, before this whole, pre-pandemic. And she told us that at the time, before the Newburytown Day even existed, it was just like, and then it just kind of percolated up. So yes, the Madison Glass, who is the site director of the Historic New England properties in Newbury, asked me if we could allot funds to compensate the guides, since the houses, the properties, I should say, of Historic New England are open to Newbury, for free, to Newbury residents as part of Newburytown Day. So essentially, they were working for free. And so what I'd like to do this year, if you all agree, is allot that funding to compensate the docents who are providing a free service for Newbury residents. And actually, anybody can go to the houses, but it's free if you say I'm from Newbury.
But will there be a receipt if it's free?
Sure.
You'll create a receipt?
Yeah.
Okay. I just have a question. Last year you didn't use the funds. Do you anticipate needing the funds this year? That's
what the money will go for, yes,
Okay,
yes, yeah. So we didn't use it last year.
right.
Okay, there's another thing that's very important I need to tell you. And as I said in my email, in retrospect, I should have just come to the meeting as a member of the public, because I just didn't understand, and neither did Heidi, what we're just talking about now. But Heidi handles the finances for Newburytown Day. This is my weak link, I just don't do finances. And so, but I said, because I'm better with online stuff, I told Heidi that I would handle the grants. So there's a bit of a disconnect because of that. Heidi is in Florida doing hurricane cleanup as a volunteer this week. Otherwise, I would say, Heidi, please come, so that she can be privy to all this. So that's kind of that's a lot of where the confusion came from. And so Heidi handled, what is coming out of town money, what's coming out of bank money, what's coming out of LCC money, and I don't necessarily have that in my head. However, I'm telling you right now that we will use this money to compensate, right? And I actually forgot to put it in my, I just forgot, because it was one of those ad hoc things, just talking to Madison one day. I didn't put it in the other grant application, so this is ideal for that line item with expenses. So this is ideal for this allotment,
Okay.
okay? And it
Sure.
ends up, and ironically, it ends up being almost exactly what I put in, what I had asked for anyway. So the total for that is $651.
But we can only spend up to 600?
No, you can spend 20% of the.
Percent, okay,
Yeah, so that's 1,000 and change.
okay, okay.
And
So-
do we have to vote on this separately, or do we incorporate it into all our other discussions?
I would vote on this separately, and then that will
Give us a
tell us
full
how much we
budget.
have left.
Yep,
Yeah.
we'll know our final amount.
Yeah, and then if we, obviously I did my homework and went all through, the same way that you did, went all through all these grant applications, and there's, as always, very worthy candidates.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
so, and I don't really see any need for us to get the full $1,000 allotment, because I'm confident that we'll get funding elsewhere. So let's be generous. I mean,
That sounds good.
I would love to be, I mean, my personal feeling is that we should be generous with our other grant applications.
We had a very long talk about it last year, how much to give you all. Margaret had to recuse, et cetera. So we put a lot of thought into it last year.
Yes, I know you did. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I mean,
you said
if the amount is $651 to serve that purpose, it seems to me that's a reasonable starting
Yeah.
point for our
And-
discussions
Yes,
here.
good starting point.
So,
And if we have lots of money left over, we can come back and throw another $400.
We won't.
And also,
We
yeah,
are
something,
not
I'm
going
just,
to.
that was a joke. I also just wanted to tell everybody, because this is an initiative of the agricultural council. We had got a lot of feedback that, that we need to, it's really hard to publicize anything in this town, as we all know. We need to up our game with the signage. So one of the things we want to do, and this is just, I'm just telling you this, one of the things we want to do is get 3 huge banners in strategic spots around town, 3 or more if we could, and then ask the town to put them up for us. So one would be on the way out to Plum Island, or you know, in Byfield Center, so that we can,
On the backstop,
yeah.
on the back.
all of us
Big
Newburyites, you know, Old Towners.
Because we
know
have
that.
little ones, yeah, exactly, and we'll talk about, at one of our next meetings, maybe we could talk about what you guys would recommend as places to put them, but that's gonna be expensive.
Mhm. So do we want to just go for 651? Was it 651?
Let's go with
So
651.
let's
It
put
seems,
that
it
number
seems
in.
like the
Everyone
most
happy with
solid
that?
thing you
Anyone
have a number
disagree?
for.
Mhm.
Yep, that's fine.
How many dozens do you know were last
2.
year? 2?
Yes, it was 2 per property, for
Okay.
7 hours each.
Okay,
And, so there are 2 at Spencer Pierce Little Farm, 2 at the Coffee House, 2 at the Sweat Pisley House,
So 6, okay, so about a little more than $100 for
for
each.
7 hours.
yeah. Peanuts for them.
How about at the old schoolhouse? Those are volunteers.
That's a volunteer.
No, that's actually a town, that's not historic New England.
Oh, that's right,
That's
yeah,
historic, that's Newbury Historic.
yeah. And they're
One of the
volunteers.
things I learned, things I learned myself last year, this year.
Do we need to propose it?
Mhm.
Go ahead, you can do that while I figure out what on earth I'm doing, if you don't mind.
Okay. I propose that we use portions of our
Allocation.
allocation to support Newbury Town Day efforts, specifically to pay historic New England docents, 6 of them for 7 hours of work at 3 properties, to the total of $651.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. All right, let's crack into it. I just want to tell you guys a couple of things. You guys kind of know. I want to give you a quick treasurer update because it's really busy right now. The deadline is the 22nd, which is next week, I believe. So I've emailed, there are 2 people, now 1, outstanding. Tempo didn't know there was a deadline, so they just emailed me the info today, so that's good. The one that I cannot get in touch with is Theater in the Open, who did the Crucible. Remember we voted on that?
Oh, dear.
They have been performing the panto at
Yes,
the
at the
firehouse for pretty much all of December. I would imagine that that's probably part of the reason you're not hearing from them, but I'm not sure.
Well,
Do you, which one, who do you, any of, you have to hear from anyone there?
I need all their paperwork, so I've been emailing the person that was Katie, I want to say.
Who's
her
that,
name's Katie.
Amy?
I want to say Theater
Theater
in the
in the
Open.
open.
No, the person.
I just finished saying that. I didn't
couldn't-
finish.
couldn't-
I
I'm
didn't
sorry.
finish.
I
I want to say her name is Katie. I'm not sure, but
Hi.
my next step will be to, I guess, call. I don't know, because it's a week, freaking out. So if anyone knows anyone at Theater in the Open, please tell them to reach out to me. And I'll-
I know the
Yeah.
people that run it.
Oh, can you have them reach out to us? Because I've got a week to process their reimbursement.
Okay.
I'm freaking out. The other one that's a very long saga and annoying is theater workshop. I'll start by saying 80% of the reimbursements that come in do not have a W-9, and a W-9 is required by the town in order for us to pay the reimbursement. So that's fine. I've learned that the first thing I have to do is open it, email it back, email the person and say, can you send me your W-9? And it's usually very quick. Everybody has their W-9, except for theater workshop. So I emailed her on October 24th, and she replied that they were in Italy, which is fine, everyone deserves a vacation. Then the next week I emailed again, don't forget your W-9. And they said that due to COVID, there's staffing shortages at their accountant, and they'll get it to me when they can, which is fine, it's end of October, plenty of time. So I emailed again, a week or so later, and they sent me a certificate of solicitation, which is by no means a W-9, and it was from 2019. So then I emailed, I can't do that, I can't use this, unfortunately, I just need your W-9 or a letter of tax exempt status. And they said, again, due to shortages of COVID shortages, their accountant, and so I'm like, okay, that's cool, it's freaking out a little bit. So now we're in mid-November, and no response, and I keep emailing. And then I get 2 documents. One is an actual tax statement, which you never send anybody that. And the other one was something totally random, both from 2019, requiring a password. I emailed them back and I said, I need the password, open it up. No, those aren't the documents I need. They replied with every other town was able to process with the 2019 certificate of solicitation, which kind of blew my mind. So I scoured the Mass website. There's no mention of it. I reached out to the Mass Cultural Council. They said it's not up to them, it's up to the town. I emailed Lillian, because I tried to go through Lillian and not bother Eileen, and she said she checked with Eileen, it's 100% a W-9. She sent me a blank one. And finally, her accountant, which is her husband apparently, was able to fill that out and send it back. So it took from October 24th until Friday for me to get that exactly.
Does that have to be filed every, I mean, does it
Yeah,
have to be
yeah,
the
it's
same
so
form, or
annoying.
now that you have it, it's good?
She
No.
also, I never reimbursed her because she hasn't requested a grant from us in a couple of years. So I wouldn't have it anyway, but yeah, we're not supposed to keep it up. And sometimes the town has, like for the library.
They may have it on file.
The town has it, but she's not a town organization. So I just want you to know that it does take that much work. And I thought it was a little shady, if I might say so to the camera, but it's just a little weird.
We're talking about Stacy and Joe.
We're talking about theater workshop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
theater
okay.
workshop.
No,
We
we talked,
did
because
fund them
we were talking about
last
giving
year.
you know, and so that's, it's understandable.
Okay.
I'm sorry I didn't hear that name.
No, it's just, I just want you guys to know that I just thought it was suspicious, honestly, that who doesn't have a W-9? I don't, because I'm not a nonprofit by any means.
Everybody has their.
Right, I've never had a problem. I did have someone last year who said they didn't want to send it to me because they didn't want their social security number in there, so he sent it to me and then he read me his social security number over the phone, which is just as insecure, but hey, it's fine.
So what was it that you needed from the Theater in the Open?
You need
W-9.
a request for reimbursement, you need their flyers and stuff that mention the Cultural Council, and you need a W-9, and it was the W-9 that was missing. And I've started to copy you on all those parts,
I just.
just so you know.
Who did you send that to, do you remember?
Stacy Dix, yeah,
No, we're talking about,
I was talking about Theater in the Open.
yeah, to Stacy.
No?
Who did I send it
Theater
to?
Works.
You're asking about, he's asking about.
Oh, Theater in the Open, to Katie, I think her name is Katie. I can find out if you give me 1 sec.
If you sent it to me, I would have it here.
Oh, I might have.
I mean, given the timeline, you might also want to reach out to Teddy Speck.
Well, that's what I was gonna reach out to.
Great, that'd be great.
That's, I mean, you should,
Yeah.
I would definitely do that as well, because he would be
Kelly.
responsive, I would imagine.
It says Kelly, I don't have the last name.
That's
Kelly
okay, I
Shea Knowles.
was- I'm just gonna go to Ted's back.
Perfect,
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe I have-
that'd be great.
Well, Bart, there's an email there.
Oh,
You
there
should
it
do
is.
both of them.
Kelly
So that
Shea.
somebody, might as well
Yeah.
get, we
Kelly
get two
Shea,
instead of one.
what's the, is it N-O-K-N-O?
It's Knowles, Knowles, I think.
Yep. And I'm sure it's just like Tempa who didn't know that there was a deadline.
Funny.
Okay, I will
Okay.
do that.
Right?
What is the deadline?
Right.
It's the 22nd. That's why I'm like, and if they can't get it to us, they just need to fill out a request for extension,
Yeah.
which I'm sure we have to then meet on.
And what was the other thing you said, a letter?
They need, yeah, the tax exempt letter is no longer any good, which
Okay.
the town library used this year, so I'm gonna email them and just let them know. So when they reimburse this year, whoever takes over won't have to explain it, hopefully. All right.
Just for my info, does anybody remember which program of Theater in the Open was funded last year?
Last year, it was the spring
Oh,
panto.
you just said that, I'm sorry. Oh, no.
No, I didn't.
It's the Crucible.
Who's the principal, right?
This year, this
We
past year
just
was the
voted on the
Crucible.
last meeting.
The
Yeah.
2022 was the Crucible,
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
and last year was the Spring Panto.
It's usually the spring.
Usually it's the Spring Panto.
Yeah. Also, just so you guys know, new this year in Smart Simple, when you pull up the panel book, it will allow you to pull this, which Bart, you did a good job, but this has all of your information, so when next year, at the end of the year, when you have to contact everyone, it has all the contact info in it.
That makes it so easy.
It does, I
Yeah,
know.
I just did it and
I know, I was like, what is this magical thing?
yeah.
All right.
So now we have $6,864, right?
I'm so sorry, you guys.
Say it
Yep, this is
again,
why I have
68.
this.
6864.
68, 64.
How come you two are sitting out there?
So we can see.
Oh,
Awesome, 505.
and the camera's on?
It is.
Okay.
Wait, hold on one second, sorry guys. My brain is all medicated. I think you missed, Bart, that we voted to give Newbury Town Day $651.
Well, am I late?
It started at 5:30, but yeah.
I apologize.
That's all right.
It's okay.
That's all right.
You came in like, hi! And I just didn't know.
Well, I owe all of you
I'll tell you
an
what, you're earlier than
apology.
Lloyd.
It's all right.
I am so sorry. I have it down for
You're not the
6.
latest.
I thought it was 6:02, I just happened to be lucky to look.
Oh, I am
Time.
so sorry.
fine.
6:51 is fine.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Mhm.
So that gives us 6864, as Michelle said, and $13,000.
Okay.
So what did we do last year? Did we decide the ones that we all didn't agree to
Well,
first?
we went through a couple times. We started with the first one,
Yeah.
and we did like,
Yeah.
we all agreed, then marked at that, and others we came back to if there was going to be some
Right.
discussion. And we
Okay.
came back to
Perfect.
discuss.
Maybe before we start, so with the sculpture one, do you need to recuse
No,
yourself? Okay,
not for this year.
okay.
Yeah,
And nobody else needs to?
Good
for
memory,
anything?
Michelle.
yeah.
I think I need to recuse myself from several of these because I go to them.
Okay, so shall we start with Cantamus?
Absolutely.
Did you guys know it already happened?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my biggest point.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
last weekend that
Yeah.
they asked, is this,
It was a mistake. It was a new person who's doing the grants applications, and clearly just didn't get it. Didn't understand.
so how much is that an issue for us?
I don't,
I
it's a
don't
huge
know.
issue.
That's a great question, Jean.
Oh, I don't think it matters. If it's FY, it doesn't matter if it's post, long as it's funded under the fiscal year.
It was
As far as
last
I know.
weekend.
Oh, really?
Right, financially, it does not matter.
It
This
doesn't
is next
matter.
year's money.
Right.
Right.
So if we award
Or
them,
July
then
1.
yes, we can reimburse them.
Really?
Yeah.
For something that's already happened?
Yes,
Mhm.
yep. Most state and federal grants, you're allowed to retroactive if the funding was as of a certain date.
And
then I
I'm
would
sorry,
ask-
what is our fiscal year here? It's,
July to July, but
It's
that's
July to-
kind of confusing. So
It is.
it's the state's fiscal,
Mhm.
but we have till December 24th in this case. 22nd, I'm sorry. I wish it wasn't Christmas. I'm glad it's not Christmas.
So we should confirm that, just to make sure. But
No,
as far
I
as,
said-
My best guess is it was a mistake, because what would have made a lot more sense would be for them to have asked for a grant for their May concert, May 2023 concert.
Or next December.
Yeah, well, they might not know what it is yet, but I'm sure they know what the May is. So,
Yeah.
like, what, I didn't realize it, I thought it was a big deal, but I guess it's not.
yep, hey,
Guess what? The meeting started at 5:30. You're not the only one,
I
Lloyd.
thought it was 6.
Okay, so that's a non-issue, excellent.
Yeah, I don't think it's an issue. So, is everyone okay with, anyone object to Cantamus?
No.
All right, I'm gonna put in a Y as a temporary placeholder, don't.
Yeah.
And then Sean Fullerton, now I just hit everything. I can't remember what he was. Does anyone
okay,
have-
so he's an acoustic,
Oh, right,
1 hour acoustic
at the
music
Council on Aging,
council.
This is
on
Sean
Aging.
Fullerton.
yeah.
yes.
So he implied there was Cindy Courier's involvement to some extent, but there was no letter from
No, there
the
wasn't.
Council of Aging.
Mm-mm.
So I assume that was just him sort of saying, this is who I'd have to work with.
And then he also mentioned in the grant that the artist fee was free, but then that was the artist fee, was the $250, so.
Yeah, for
I
1
think
hour.
the way I read that is what's the cost of the program? And he said it was gonna be for free. At least that's how I remember it.
Okay,
Right.
And but clearly it was a retainer for him. And I think the question is, I mean, the only thing that I reacted to was no letter of support from the council. on
Yeah.
Aging. And I
Well, he
feel,
also, excuse me, Bart, I just
Yeah.
interrupted you.
What did you object to, Bart?
no, I don't object, I just say I didn't notice a letter of endorsement from Council of Aging, so it looked like he just kind of threw it out there
right.
Which
without talking to
happened.
anybody, which makes it
And-
feel a
and
little
put the-
sloppy.
The wrong name of the location, because the senior center's here.
Right,
And
right.
he said it's at Hanover Street, and so,
Mhm.
so it looked to me also as though he had not quite done his homework.
Yes.
And my take on this one too was that he's asking for $250, it serves 35 people.
Mhm.
So when I look at the cost benefit ratio, that,
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
pan out, that was my reaction.
Do you know what though, my other reaction was, all of that valid, was something else for the senior center. They only have Delvena.
Yeah, that's true. That's the only other one that's
Well,
been,
yes and no, because
For us.
Stacy's,
That's the AOK,
yeah.
for the seniors.
well, to me, it's a question mark right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Delvena's
I
in there.
agree. It's
I agree with
questionable.
that.
I like that.
Good.
Depending
I
on
agree.
the
Maybe.
month.
The next one was the Lantern Festival.
Mhm.
So I had an interesting, as I looked into that, my understanding is that Bartlett Mall is potentially under construction. If they get the permitting done this winter, it'll be under construction next summer and fall, including a full liner, which means they're gonna have to drain the pond. So I was trying to figure out how you actually have a floating lantern festival
They
in
float
that
in the air.
scenario.
No,
If
they
they put
don't.
it in the air, then it's
Oh,
an
It
environmental
said it was-
issue.
It said it was on the.
Oh,
It's
right.
definitely
Okay.
a floating one. If
Got
it
it.
goes in the air, I would have an environmental
Got it.
concern.
Mhm.
So I guess since it wasn't addressed in that, it certainly seems like an ongoing, worthy event.
Yeah,
that
I agree.
attracts a lot of people, but
And they had to get
was,
that,
if it's really facing the possibility of not having the site, then,
but that's undetermined at this point,
Right.
correct?
yeah, it's undetermined,
They
but
had to
it
get
just,
the
it wasn't even sort of
application.
mentioned in the proposal, and I'm pretty sure they would be aware of it.
This
So-
is my favorite application.
Yeah, I'm all for it, this at the now, yep.
But,
But if we,
Or anywhere
we
else
could give
there.
the money next year if it was, as opposed to using the money for something else this year. It was sort of what crossed my mind, but I don't know how we
Well, if
resolve this with unknowns.
Yeah, if something happens and they can't do it, then they can move it forward, correct?
Yes,
Would-
no, they
yeah.
can't move it forward. They can apply next year, but the money just goes back in the pot.
Right,
I
the
see.
money
Okay.
So
goes
they
back.
could apply, or they could apply for an extension, or they could,
move the
Just a couple
location, who
Right,
knows?
right.
I mean, maybe they know that, maybe they don't.
yeah,
I would assume it's a huge event
yeah.
that they would
Yeah,
plan for
and I
that.
mean, they're putting sort of battery key lights in things, they have to be able to get onto a
Mm.
pond they can actually clean out.
Mhm.
You
Well,
know,
do it in
they
the
can't
neighbor
really
pond.
just leave those things in there,
Do it at the quilt pond.
so.
The fish would love it. So we're gonna put this as an M or a Y?
I'd say why?
I say why.
Yeah, why?
Why?
I would say on.
Yeah, why?
Oh, okay, wait, who's an M? Raise your hand. Okay. And who's a Y? Oh, so, sorry, Jean.
That's good.
And then the next one is this major art installation, which sounded interesting to me.
I
It
did,
did, but
I
it
thought it
was-
was pretty vague.
it
There
was
weren't
very
any-
I was
vague.
gonna
Had
say,
that down.
albeit
They
a
were
little vague.
unclear, I wrote.
They didn't have a lot of cooperating artists lined up.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's a great idea.
It's a lot
So
of-
I wrote, build and they will come, you know, kind of approach, which doesn't really work. I thought it was unclear of their ability to succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was just
Yeah.
concerned, it mentioned they wanted to involve the Newbury Art Collaborative, but, you know, they hadn't done any of that yet. And I remember last year when we were having these discussions about these applications that are, well, maybe we'll do this, maybe we'll involve
Yeah.
these people.
Yeah.
But they weren't solid applications where,
You know
And
what?
they're not the,
great.
that was the incorrect, not to be a stickler, but I am a stickler on these.
I got excited when I first
you know,
read it, cause it
but-
sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
But it's not the wording was Newburyport Collaborative, it's a collective, so even the wording
Yeah.
was incorrect, but I just had down, Newburyport Waterfront Park, but other unnamed venues, it just
It
didn't
was
feel really defined to
Do
me.
you guys agree?
Completely.
It's weird having you over there.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
No, you don't have to move, I'm just,
I don't mind moving, it's just,
I just gotta
if
remember
I'll
you there.
sit there so I can see.
Did you
just-
say you could enlarge that?
She did.
like,
You can enlarge it.
I can, but it's already humongous on your screen, but I can.
I
it's all
have,
right.
I have proof notes, I don't even need. I
Oh,
don't
that's
need
better,
it.
that's good.
Okay.
I have my own notes, so,
And
now I just need a
actually,
chair.
on our
Can you get you over?
council, and requirements, being precise is one of them.
Yeah.
So
So,
that is the reason.
yeah, could I?
So,
Okay.
My reaction was, I'm agreeing with all of you, and I really reading it, thought, grand plan, but she would have served herself better if she had done more research.
She needs a year
So
more.
that she could ask, so that she, pardon me?
I think she needs another year.
I do too.
Yeah, I,
Confirm it up.
so I didn't like the amount.
No,
yeah.
no way.
Yeah, and I agree with everything everybody said, and I was thinking that when we give her a denial, if we decide on that, that we say, we like your idea, please, when you firm this up a little bit more, come back, and also recognize that these are, we don't give grants in that
So
amount.
just so you
Yes.
know,
Typically.
the approvals and denials are a checkbox. You don't get to go back and forth with them at all.
well, you don't give,
No.
you don't have to give an
And you
explanation.
just check the box. Yeah.
They can,
Yep,
contest it,
yep.
and then,
And then we could, then it goes to the state and we could say,
But in the letter, you can add details.
there's no letters.
Oh, that's right, oh, I'm living in the past.
Yeah.
Never mind. Never
Yeah,
mind.
so I think just our notes should reflect that. you
Yeah,
know,
okay,
and
great.
I'm
I think
sure.
not precise, sort of, that covers it.
I agree.
Yeah.
So are we an N? Anyone with an N, raise your hand.
No,
An M or an N?
N is in
No.
Nancy?
Oh,
that's a
And-
no.
And
Yeah, okay. Well, that's one. Where's my letter? Here it is. And let me put in Y. Define dates.
Why, even though you don't have to tell them?
well, it's good for us in case somebody asks us.
When they
I would
contest
think.
it, when they contest it, the state's gonna ask why.
She won't contest it.
Then we have the painted plant with the pollinators.
I liked it, I just thought it was a crazy amount of money.
because it had the fish and wildlife support, and it actually, in contrast, was quite planned out.
It was, very much so,
Um,
very clear.
I thought, I mean, I didn't want to fund it fully, but I did think that, you know, we could fund it at some smaller level,
Mhm.
depending on sort of how the budget was
Yep.
sort of trending.
Yeah,
as we went through these.
I agree with that. I mean, she was putting forth $1,000 of her own funds towards this, depending on funding, there'd be more Newbury sites. Certainly not that full amount, but
Is
that
this-
was quite a put-together
Is
proposal.
this the one that said that she broke out the cost based upon the towns and this was 7%?
Yes.
All the
That
percentages.
person wins just because that
Yes.
grant was so well
I
written.
agree, that was the best written
Yeah.
grant I think I have
Yeah.
ever seen in all the grants, at least I've been.
And a lot of
able to
letters
review.
of support,
Yeah.
and it was very well put together.
I thought so too.
And the cost benefit ratio department too, she said 2,000 people it serves.
Yeah.
And then you look at the amount of money, we won't fund the whole A23,
Right.
but I thought, gee, that's a lot of people.
So Amy, can we put like yes, but,
Right.
not full amount,
Yeah.
maybe question mark or?
Yeah,
I mean, one of her,
Well,
I
yeah.
think one of her comments on how to deal with lesser funding was to develop less signs, for example.
Right.
that, You know, which
Yes,
is,
I
you
saw
know,
that as well.
something that could be
I'm gonna
suggested.
assume they're all funding pending conversation because we have so little versus how much is being asked.
Right,
So if they're-
we're not saying yes to funding the entire,
Yeah.
any of them, right?
Right,
Okay, right.
So, I totally support all of this.
but
No, I wrote odd request, but I really liked it. But I'm trying to think of an amount. Can we put amount here?
do you want to do that as a placeholder?
Well, let's just, could you do a running tally of kind of how much we're
Well, right now, we
awarding?
haven't put any amounts in,
Okay.
but I can, do you
I
want me to do
threw-
that? So
So
just put
I
the,
assume, that's
I
by
put
300. I put nothing there, 300. And here, what do you think? 250, 300?
Yeah.
300? to start?
300?
Okay.
Just kind of
300 is
keep
a
it going?
placeholder.
Okay.
Is this the one that has a program in February
It's
and then
not
again
doing
May
it,
and June?
so
Yes,
interesting.
yes.
Yeah, that was the other thing I thought, wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty comprehensive.
Mhm.
There we go, got it. Next is the Ipswich River
Ipswich
Wildlife
River.
Sanctuary Bird Walk again.
This is the same.
On that.
This was the
Proposal.
exact same proposal as
Correct.
last
No,
year.
last year,
Say no.
he was doing more of a handicap accessible.
No, he
Thing.
wasn't.
Oh, wait,
That's
No,
what
he
I
wasn't, he
turned
was,
around last
I'm
year.
pretty sure, I feel like he needs a little feedback.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not, that I would have been more interested in supporting if he explained who the group was that he wanted to give sort of free walks.
Mhm.
It's only 20 people.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's very
But
duplicative.
Martin Burns is not an area that gets a lot of use.
I agree with that.
In that sense,
Such a
it was a
fun
good
thing.
choice of locale. But I think Mass Audubon, leads walks all over the place all the time and charge people. So for me, it was like, okay, so you want to give the walk to a group of people for free. Which group? I mean, I just wanted that
Yeah.
answer. It's
Can I
like, who,
20
yeah,
people.
who are you,
Small amount.
who are you trying to reach? And I just felt like that piece of it wasn't there.
I agree completely. The other thing, if you looked at what he was asking for, was funds were all for him. He mentioned marketing materials,
Mhm.
development of marketing materials, but there was no budget amount. There was no line item for the actual marketing materials. So I thought that was really odd.
Well, that might just be his way of, I need $295, some of that will go to marketing, et cetera.
Actually, I
Actually, no,
thought he
he
did
said-
have a line that said about $25 for it or something.
He said, in that line item, he said development of, as opposed to, like, maybe I misread it or I just misinterpreted it,
Oh.
as opposed to the actual marketing materials. Anyhow, I agree with you. I wasn't enthusiastic about this one.
I actually, this is the same thing as Michelle, this is the exact same as last year, and we said no because it's not accessible at all. It's such a small amount of people.
Right.
So is that an N from everybody? N is in Nancy?
Yes, and
Next one,
we've already done this.
just draw a big line through that.
Kind of Maudsley.
Yeah, no, Robin is all set.
Robin's all set.
So that's one where we agreed to the 651.
Right,
Okay. You want to put that in there? The
I already
650?
did, it's at the bottom.
Oh, I see, okay,
I added a separate line because I need to send it over to accounting in a different way.
I see.
is down here.
Well, I sure like the next one.
Oh, I said
Memorial
fund
Day
it fully.
concert?
I don't know how you couldn't with veterans to fund that fully.
It was also a
Would be
very,
Shamford.
I thought it was a very good
We're on number.
Was that the
application.
veterans?
Yeah.
Yes.
Number 8.
So it's Memorial Day. I thought it was very, also was a well-written
I
grant
thought so,
application.
too,
Yeah, and they
and-
perform at
A
Mazda during on the
million.
Sunday afternoons.
Yeah,
A million things saying, please, we'd
Yes.
love to have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't done it since 2017, and when they did it, it was very well received. Veterans asked to have it done again. This is now years later. And free for veterans, and if they have enough, then that would include family and even friends if possible. I mean, it just seems like that one full, full amount.
I was looking more at a partial amount for that one.
I
I
cannot.
thought it was good, but I guess, again, with so many
competitors.
so many people coming in from Newburyport that are, worthy, I guess I was sort of looking at something that might, sort of match across the board a little more in terms of how we support all the out-of-town organizations. So that was my only sort of thought about it.
Yeah, I found it interesting that his budget is $5,500, and he split it 8 ways among 8 different cultural councils. So everybody, all the other applications are $620. So I'm just making an observation.
What if we put in like 400, 'cause we're gonna revisit anyway, right?
Yeah, we're gonna come back. So if we say yes,
Yes.
I
We
mean,
all
I
say
think
yes,
it's a
right?
yes, but I guess the amount, I would like to see just sort of how it
I'll
fits
put in
with all the other
400 as a
numbers.
placeholder and highlight it.
Okay.
That one I'll probably fight for.
That's great, I love fighting.
No, I'm not gonna fight.
Oh, come on. Up next is the dueling pianists, Marilyn Morales and Co. Okay.
Now, I couldn't find that. Did I miss it?
Oh,
It
in
seemed
the
to,
book?
in the book. I
It was there,
It
and
was
there
there.
was.
I was on a plane when I was reading it, so I
Yeah.
might have just missed it.
You flew right over it.
Information
I
about
must
it.
have, yeah.
We denied them last year
Oh,
as
that's
well.
right.
why?
It's virtual.
It's virtual.
Virtual.
Oh, that's right. Cable TV.
Yeah.
And they were
Yeah.
expecting funding from cable TV. I'm like, say what? Really?
Mhm.
Yeah, and in
Then it
the
was a big
surveys we've
request.
done, no one watches the cable TV, so it's
No.
just not.
Yeah.
So we have the proof to back it up. I'm gonna give them an N.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone's okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Moving on, this is the library passes to Strawberry Bank and where else?
Also, Seven Gables.
Thank you.
So previously we did Peabody Essex.
Last year they did somewhere different too.
Yeah,
I don't, I thought
No,
we
it
only
was just
funded,
Peabody
I thought we
Essex
just
last
funded
year.
Peabody.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Peabody
I thought
Essex.
they
Yeah.
did somewhere
Now, I sort of like the idea, but would people use it?
I do.
Do you?
With Strawberry Bank and the House of Seven Gables?
I use one every year depending on
Okay.
where.
I think it's
Oh, I did.
very
I mean, we
important
always
to support the
support the
library.
library.
Yeah,
I agree,
I
just
like the
that's the
support,
only
I just
thing
hate
they're
to
asking.
fund something that doesn't get used, and if it's gonna get
Oh, it gets
used,
used.
which you're all saying,
Yeah.
I
use it every
I
year.
liked it as a proposal.
Yeah,
Okay.
And we'll put in the full amount? Because
So they
they've
could
done
get
their
both
work
of
and
them.
that's how much it costs?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they made the comment they would, if the funding was reduced, they would
Go to
only buy one
Friends.
of the passes. So
Mhm.
Seven Gables is $200, Strawberry Bank is $250. So
Okay.
if,
And Strawberry
I-
Bank
I would-
is free.
I would certainly think,
Strawberry Bank is
supporting both of them is a good
Free.
idea.
free. Then why do we
If
need
you
a
get,
pass?
if you get the pass.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you, if you get the pass, Strawberry Bank is free. House of Seven Gables is at half price
Mhm.
to get.
Okay.
And we funded them $400 just for Peabody Essex last year. So I agree with Jean though, we really need to support the library, town library, and not asking for anything else.
you all right?
Oh, bless you.
Okay.
Yeah, it only lasts about 20 minutes.
So, yes, it's full for the moment.
All right, terrific.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
The Newburyport Chamber Music Festival. To be honest, I did those three, the next three, just as yeses, because we always do.
Yeah.
Same with a few others.
I also love
Yes.
with the Newburyport Chamber Music Festival, they are included Newbury's included
I'm so
Newbury
sorry.
as a location, and also
Woo.
they're collaborating with the theater in the open.
To do
And
puppetry
I
for
just
children, yeah, which is
love-
great, that was a good idea.
I just love seeing the different organizations, like the Crucible. The Crucible was collaboration of the Firehouse, Theater in the Open, and Historic New England.
Yeah.
I just love those types of sceneries, so that's what, that popped out at me with this proposal.
Plus, unfortunately, last year it said that their festival got cut short. They had to cancel
Oh, yeah,
halfway
yeah, they had to
through.
cancel it. Mhm.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
I think it's a yes.
a yes for,
So Amy
So
said,
what are we saying yes to, which one?
to the chamber.
Number
chamber
11.
music
Yes for me.
No music festival.
Yeah,
12 and 13.
Are we doing all three? Wait,
I'm just
12 and
going
13.
with
We
what you
just-
just said.
12 and 13? What?
I'm going with what you just said, Amy, so I'm sorry if I jumped ahead.
you said the next three, Amy.
I
so-
did, but I didn't know we were all, I didn't know you guys were listening to me. Then I died for a little while.
Yes, we were listening.
Sorry.
But that was a leap of faith, so, but I agree with Amy.
I agree with all of those, and I really like to have diversity of art, and so I like the theater one in there as well, I like them all.
Can we talk one at a time about which one
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
talking about?
yeah.
I'm
We're on
getting,
the Coral
I have a
Society.
slightly different order, so I'm trying to
Oh, okay.
make sure that I'm
Coral
tracking your
Society,
order.
That's
We're on the
fair,
Coral
Jean.
Society.
So that's a yes. I
I'm
mean,
so sorry.
there's a lot of people involved with that, that seems like
Yeah.
a yes.
Yep, serves
I'll
a
tell you, I was
couple.
there Sunday, that church was bursting.
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
never
that's great.
seen it like
That's
that.
Which one?
The Belleville. It was absolutely bursting, totally full.
That's great.
Yeah, wonderful concert.
So that's a yes on that one?
Yeah, and Carmina Burana is a real crowd pleaser.
And then the film festival.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like the film festival, I think again, because I was sort of just looking at parity for a lot of Newburyport organizations. I
Yes.
wondered about the amount,
Yeah.
in terms of just trying to support as much as we could
Right.
as well.
Well, we
So
didn't fully
I
fund
certainly
them.
want to support it.
Yeah, we didn't fully fund them last year.
We didn't, I don't
No.
think we
No.
gave them 500
We
last year.
gave 300
I think we
last
gave
year.
them 300.
And they asked for 300.
No,
Oh,
they
I'm
asked
sorry,
for
I looked at the wrong
500.
one. No, looking at the
So-
wrong one, sorry.
Do you want me to put them in for 3 for now and highlight it?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're wonderful people, they'll be grateful for whatever we can give them.
And it's back live.
Yeah. No,
And,
it
yeah,
certainly
hybrid.
certainly should be
Online.
supported.
But yes.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of, you know what, I'm thinking of the literary festival.
Yeah, yeah, this is
DocuFest.
combination.
Yes.
All right, on stage, which one is this one? I know it's theater and movement, but what are we?
puppet.
On
puppet
stage
show.
is
Oh, the
Tito.
puppet one.
Yeah.
We also fund them every year.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
Did you go to the Panto?
No, I didn't, but
You can go this weekend if it's not so
I'm
long.
actually going this weekend.
Oh, you are going this
Yeah.
weekend?
Yeah, but I have not in the past.
I mean, again, I think one of our arguments last year is, I think it should definitely be supported. It's one of the few going for youth, that,
Mhm.
you know, whole hog. I think we should support that.
And do
Yeah,
you have an
no
opinion on how
cost.
much?
Because of the youth piece, I put it at full.
Because there's only like
Support.
2 youth programs.
Well, I think we should just, go forward and run the numbers.
Okay,
Mhm.
we're doing fine number-wise. We have
Where are we now?
Outdoor
Opening
sculpture at
just a
Mary's
minute left to
sculpture.
go, so we've got tons of money.
Outdoor sculpture at Munsell, we always fund them as well.
Yeah.
We
Excellent
didn't fully
application.
fund them though last year.
We didn't
did
fully fund a lot of people
300
last
out
year.
of 350, so they asked again for 350.
They asked for 350. They do have one of the largest crowds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And it does really draw families as
So
well. So
I think it's great.
Yeah.
It was fabulous.
Let's go to 350.
Yeah,
I agree with
to
that.
start.
And Plum Fest, Betty applied for 2022. But I guess it doesn't matter.
Oh, they did? This is, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
This
What
is
was that?
for
Plum
Plum
Fest.
Fest summer.
Plum Fest
Oh, yes,
applied
I
for
did, yeah,
2022.
yeah.
She applied
Now-
for September
September.
17th, 2022.
I think it was
I missed
early.
that.
It was a mistake. It was just a mistake.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh, so it's
So
supposed to
it's
be.
meant
Same
to
as
be.
Katamas, it's just a
wait,
mistake.
mine says 23.
Yeah, I have down 23.
Oh, okay.
Up there it says 22.
Right, in the application, it said September 17th. Because the reason I noticed it was because I remember September 17th, because I volunteered. I went, wait a second, and then I saw she had said 2022.
So this is actually for 23.
If that's what she meant.
Are you sure?
Do we?
No, I don't know.
Okay, it's right here. It
I don't
says-
know.
It's right here, it says Wednesday, May 17th, 2023.
2022.
That
Well-
says 23, right there.
No,
Where?
we're
No,
looking
that
at
says
Plum Fest.
2020, she should,
Number 19.
Am I on the wrong
You're on the
one?
wrong one.
I am, I
You're looking
am,
at number
See where it
19.
says,
I'm wrong.
see where
You're
it
right,
says?
you're right.
Right here.
Yes, Robin, I said you're
Oh,
right.
oh, okay, I was showing everybody else.
Number 17.
I'm gonna
When
look
is
at
it?
the
Do you know when it
calendar.
is this year?
So what does it actually?
No, I don't know.
Oh,
It's probably September. Is this a leap year? It's probably
I'm
September.
gonna look on the
16th.
calendar.
It's probably the same weekend. But I'm only
2023. What is the
it
date?
says, mark your calendars for September 16th, 23.
Oh, well, there we go.
Okay, good.
According to Google.
That's a Monday.
It-
But
Oh, no,
here's
I'm
the
sorry.
thing.
I'm in
You guys, I
2024.
don't know if we can do that because it's supposed to match.
It'd be outside our fiscal year.
But I thought we just had this conversation about containers.
yeah,
No, the date, because that date will match the reimbursement. This date will not.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeesh.
but, I mean, I'm sorry, I mean, look at open air sculpture, that's past,
No, that's 23.
23.
It is a Sunday.
I see.
I'm getting confused.
I'm totally confused.
What is the window that the funding we are discussing can cover?
It would be December 23rd through probably December 26th or so.
So then why can
2023.
we actually do containment, I mean,
Catamus?
yeah, kind
The
of.
date
Because
that
what I'm
I'm
saying
asking
is-
for is in 2022, it doesn't exist, and we would be giving them money for a non-existing date, even though we do it in good faith, it is not correct.
The date on their reimbursement request has to match the date of their grant. So she cannot submit for 22. So we have to have her, if we approve her, we have to have her immediately, well, whenever she can, submit a modification request to change the date, and then that's fine. So I have
Is
to take
there
that road.
any other place in the grant proposal that references
Good
23?
question. Let's find out. Let's find out.
I read it and
What
I
road
didn't.
is it?
I read it and I read it and I don't think that it did. I think Betty just didn't realize that she's applying for 2023. I mean, I could be wrong.
It was
That's
a
my
mistake,
guess.
I
It's a
agree
mistake.
with, I agree with you,
Yeah.
but technically,
No, I know.
so we can give her
I
the
was
money,
asking-
we just
I was
have to
an- I
make
was
her
answering
jump
your
through an
question.
extra hoop. It's just an extra hoop, and we apologize,
And you know,
but
we
we
have a
gotta
meeting
keep it
coming up
legal.
in March, so there's no, we can vote on it then if she submits a modification request. No big deal.
I'm sorry I'm being dense,
Okay.
but what is the difference between this one and Contaminous?
Cantamus is,
Contaminous.
well, it will match.
Their date is correct.
Their date is correct. Their
The
date will
date
match.
is correct,
Right.
but so.
But it's still not
is-
in the funding window that you just described, that's what confused me.
I still don't get it.
It's, I mean, it's a whole 3 weeks before you're saying we're in the cycle,
The Contaminous concert was
last week.
last weekend.
Yes.
Plum Fest was in September.
There's no E, A.
It's just, that's what it's how, it's just how, that's how it's pronounced. So I don't understand the difference between, I don't really care, guys. I just really am trying to understand.
Yeah,
The difference
I agree.
between Contamus, which has already happened,
Right.
and Plum Fest, that's already happened.
She's not asking
No,
for the,
she-
she's
yeah.
not asking for the one that already happened,
Right.
she's asking for next
She's asking for
September.
next year. She
Yeah.
just filled that out wrong.
She just made a typo.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I just reviewed it, and I don't see any other reference to 2023.
Okay.
What'd you say? There are other
There
references?
are.
There are not.
There are no
not.
references to
Uh-oh.
choice, so
No,
then
that's
she
what I'm telling
really,
you. I was
I mean,
reading the
we-
whole.
But as
that's
long
what
as
I
we
read.
can approve it,
That's
and
what
it can be.
I read the whole thing because I knew it was a mistake, and I was hoping that there would be some sort of correction. I really truly believe that Betty, whatever, you know what?
Well, as long as we can correct
Do
it,
you have
it's
the
not a
thing?
problem, right?
Can you skip, do you have the whole thing printed, Robin?
Or
No,
she can
no, I
work.
just have
Bart
cryptids.
just Bart, did you just bring up in the panel book?
Yeah, I have it in the book right
Okay,
here.
so
Yeah.
Bart just brought it up, and there's nothing that says
I
20.
just
20,
looked at it, and there is
So, I
nothing in
guess-
here.
Well,
if
does it
that's
say
the case-
2022 anywhere else?
Yeah, just in the title,
Just there?
yeah.
Yes.
So
That
why
makes me
can't
sad.
we treat it like,
It's too bad.
why can't we treat it like the other one?
Why don't we call her and ask her?
If you decided to do both of them, then just ask if they wanna do a modification for
Both
both
have to do
dates.
modifications.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of what we're saying.
That's what I
Right.
thought we were doing in the other one, but okay.
I don't think that the first one does have to do a modification, because
No,
we're just reimbursing them for something that already happened.
Oh, that's true.
If it qualifies in the fiscal year.
It doesn't fit in the fiscal year.
Still look at
It goes in the fiscal year, it doesn't go in the grant,
Yeah,
after the grant.
we have the money. We have the money
Right.
until 15 days after I hit submit, whenever that may be. It's not gonna be tomorrow.
So this didn't come up last year
There it is, in front of my
with
face.
containers then?
It's like, probably as a new person doing the grant
Yeah, I would
application,
imagine.
who didn't realize that they're applying for
So
next
you
year.
think it's a new
I'm
person?
pretty sure.
Okay.
is it a certain Sunday every year?
Is
Does
what?
anyone know?
Is what?
Is it a
It's
certain
Saturday.
Sunday
Is what?
every, the Plum Festival?
Plum Fest is
Saturday.
Saturdays.
Yeah,
Oh, well, that's a Sunday.
It used to be in May too.
Yes.
no, they moved, after the pandemic, they moved it to September, and September's been very successful.
September 17th,
So now it's
23 is
sticking
a
with September.
Sunday.
September what?
17th, 2023 is a Sunday.
That was a mistake on the date. It'll be the
It's the
16th.
16th, because it's on their Facebook page, which I just Googled.
Oh, well, there you go then.
Yeah, but,
That's why I said the simple way is, I believe, is that we give them the okay, but to make it legal, so nothing happens, would you please resubmit and we'll approve it with the correct dates?
she just needs to
So
do a
all we have
modification, they can't
to do-
resubmit, the
and we can-
timeline's up,
what?
but they can't resubmit, the deadline.
You know what I mean, ask for
Yeah, do
a
modification.
Change the date.
modification.
So you gotta change the date, it's gonna rain that day.
Please ask for a modification and change your date, and we'll approve it. And you can always just send her a sidebar email on it.
Yeah, I will,
And that,
Okay.
But then we have to meet again and everything, don't we?
but we're meeting in March anyway,
Right.
Oh, we can do it in
So-
March?
Just tell them we
Oh,
want
yeah.
it done by March.
Okay, in March.
especially since it doesn't happen till September. And if she says, no, I wanted funding for this year's, then I don't know what to do.
Well, we already gave them funding for this year.
We didn't, this is the first year they've applied, I think, isn't it?
It is.
Since
Yeah.
2019.
Since, yeah, for a
Oh,
few
okay.
years.
For quite a
Oh,
while.
I thought they got something last year.
No, they didn't even ask for anything.
Well, Betty is, no, she's not,
Okay,
they're taking it over.
okay, so,
So what are we doing?
so what are,
I think
amount
Lloyd was
wise?
on the right track. We're doing them out of, we're gonna
Sorry.
approve, we haven't decided
the
on that
lawyer in
amount.
me is just saying
You're
what
a
would
lawyer
be
too?
covering in legalities.
But what happens if a modification isn't submitted?
Then the money gets
The
carried over
money
to
gets
next year.
carried back.
Gotta get the money back in it.
And we can do that.
No harm, no foul.
No harm, no harm. I'm just saying that the state looks at these things, so we just wanna make sure we cover it, that's all.
Okay, so up there, we're gonna put yes, are we gonna put the full amount?
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Let's keep
Not the
going,
full amount.
and then run the numbers, and then we can kind of figure out.
Okay,
Let's
well,
do
why don't we just put a
allocations.
But it is
placeholder?
a Newberry
Put it
event,
in
so in that
Yes,
sense,
that's
and it's
true.
a big Newberry event.
Yeah.
So
It is
in that
All
sense,
ages, it's,
yeah,
I'm-
I think it is
Fabulous.
I was
worthy
thinking-
of considering.
Yeah, I was thinking 500,
I
but
was thinking 5 too, but you know what, a lot of those people aren't from Newbury, I'll tell you that, having done the survey. Right,
that right?
right, Robin?
Yeah.
Was a
A
good
lot of them
time,
are
let's
for
hang right
non-regular.
on
So, okay, so you need a placeholder, so I
I
would
did
say,
5.
okay.
Sorry, the crowd, okay.
Keep rolling.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember Bernadette Stockwell's event.
Yeah, it's only virtual.
I saw that.
It was also a little vague.
What was it? Can someone give me a quick summary of what it was?
Exploring art with people to make them feel.
I actually
good.
thought it was really cool, but virtual.
That's
Virtual.
my reaction.
it was
Yeah.
virtual, there's
She-
no
she-
local endorsements.
She does combine it, because it's virtual with other towns, you know, you would have people from Newbury and whatever other towns. that are-
Avon and Phillipston and Amesbury.
Right.
Right, yeah, it was an interesting choice, but
Because she's from someplace in that
she's,
direction.
well, she's a professor at UMass Lowell, I think was what it was. But she's been doing this elsewhere, but more sort of
She's on a
central
master's
Mass.
from Cornell.
Yeah.
just so
Right.
you know.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember that.
I was like, wow.
So,
So are we?
but it was a little vague as to what it actually
Yeah, and
does.
just the fact that it's,
I did try to look at her
It's
wesite
virtual.
to see if I could get more detail out of it, and I
That
can't say
also
that I really got a lot.
It's virtual, and Amy was just saying a few minutes ago that they're not well attended, the virtual events are not well attended.
From the
Said what?
surveys.
Virtual what?
yeah.
Oh, from the surveys, I'm sorry, you're
Yeah.
right.
The virtuals are not well attended.
Oh,
From the surveys we've done, people aren't really responsive to.
People don't want
So,
to.
so I guess
It's
my,
like a year and a
I-
half.
Yeah,
I'm
they're-
tired of that.
I agree.
I just, a big no
so
on that.
my reaction to this was, number one, there was no local endorsement, so it was just too general. Second is the virtual. And third is, I really want to encourage people to be creative. And, you know, so if she ever asks why, we can say, you know, let's put a little bit more effort into this, get local endorsements, and then we would really definitely consider it. Because I like these creative ideas.
I do too.
I agree.
But I like the hands-on and right there and specified as to why $350. Yeah, I had said no on that.
Okay. Again, I apologize for this
Don't
situation.
apologize, I agree.
Are you okay? 'Cause it-
I am fine.
I had it for 3 weeks.
This is day 20.
really?
I went to the doctor today. Yeah, I was like, this is day 20.
I went after 2 weeks. You'll get, it'll end, but it's not fun.
Yeah, it's just forever. So I emailed you all, maybe you received it. Oh, I spelled their name wrong in my email. Cindy Courier, that's her name?
Yeah.
The COA, she does not have a preference, so we get to pick, and therefore I picked the lower price one. Now, here's my thing for all of us, possibly you, you know they're gonna change their mind, and they're gonna have to vote on a modification.
Yeah, always happens.
Yeah,
Did we support the Council on Aging last year?
we did Delvina last year.
We
yeah.
did do, okay.
Delvina.
It seems to me that we should be trying to support,
I totally agree with
and
that.
I mean, for whatever reason, I picked the other one, but I agree,
Whatever.
supporting
I'm
one or
fine
the
either way.
other seems to make
I
sense.
liked the murder one.
I also like murder.
Do we know what kind of attendance they've gotten?
I don't, but actually Cindy said in her email back to me that they are very well attended and the seniors love it.
Okay. So we didn't fully fund them.
Right.
Right, last year.
We did
We
it
didn't?
fully?
What
We
did we
did
do
not,
last year?
they wanted 585 and we gave them 300.
Well, let's do that for now and use it as a placeholder.
I believe one of the, I think the lower priced one did, I think
Yeah.
it was also gonna be done with Amesbury. I didn't know
Oh, was
whether
it?
Amesbury was supposed to be a separate
Oh, I didn't think
event
that.
or whether those two could be combined, but
Also, I feel like Meet Julia Childs has been the past 3 years.
I feel like we
Yeah.
have that, yeah.
Okay.
And that is the lower priced one, but the murder.
right, but
Correct.
it was, Amesbury was only mentioned with the
With
first
one of them?
Yeah, not the other for some reason. So,
But
Maybe that's why the lower
The number
price.
of people served is 80 for both of them.
yes.
Yeah, and hopefully would be in person unless there's COVID issues, and then that one switches to virtual, but we can't base it on
Don't worry about
that,
that.
because that's kind of true with a lot of these.
I think they were in person this year too. So
So pick one.
I vote for murder.
So let's do the
Yeah,
other
I did
one.
like the murder.
I'm into murder.
We like murder.
They like murder.
Murder's good.
we all vote for murder.
That's
Do you
unanimous
want to
for
put in
murder.
amount? Do you want to put in 325 as a halfway? Or do you want to do more?
I mean, they can't really do it
As a
unless, I
placeholder.
mean, if we're the only town, I assume it
I
doesn't
would've
happen
done this
unless we
higher.
fully
I
fund
don't
it.
remember.
I would
what
done
it's-
this higher.
Yeah,
I would done 500, but,
Yeah.
500 as a placeholder?
but let's do a placeholder, yeah.
just that'll,
The best.
will that allow them to,
Well,
Yeah, they had it this year and we didn't fully fund. So I
although,
think
but it was a lower price event.
Well, we did.
it was
Yeah, I mean,
585 and we gave, what'd you say, 350?
Three.
But do we know if they asked other cultural
300.
councils for support?
585.
I do not know that.
Three.
Okay.
So the other one is a no,
The
right?
literary
Six
fest.
Oh,
35.
thank you for that.
Yeah, one of those.
so I kind of like the literary festival.
Oh,
Yes.
Again, diversity of art.
And they only ask for
They're
And
not
it's
$300.
only
asking for much at
$300.
Yeah, we get them the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And then Town of Salisbury's music, right?
Yeah, we didn't
Music.
fund that last year, because it's during Salisbury Days and I don't know, we have our own Newbury Town Day is what we said last year, why we.
That's
I
true.
happen to know on the highest authority that Newbury Town Day is being funded by Salisbury. Just as an FYI, which I'm not supposed to know, but I do. Now everybody knows since we're on camera.
The only other thing, that I put a question mark next to this, but it was really geared towards youth and as an after-school.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
that as
it's a,
well.
they say family concert, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but they
Yeah.
really highlighted the youth
Yeah.
aspect of it.
Their beach concerts very well attended. Yeah, I definitely did not say no on that one myself.
I just put it at a lower amount.
Yeah,
Back-
that's fine.
Back to
That would
that
be great.
back to the 300.
I might do 250.
You know, that
Yeah.
would be good, because we did totally deny it last year, it would have been the same thing.
So 250, you think, as a placeholder, Amy?
Yes, if it's okay with everybody else?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's reasonable.
Oh, this is the Bluebird Cafe.
So I went to their website
I did
and
too, yeah.
as of 2023, they said they are going to be operating not in Georgetown, but at the Byfield Arts Center,
Oh,
which was not in their proposal.
Right.
You would have thought so, because
Um,
I said no.
Yeah,
Georgetown.
and I was like, well, if it's really at the Byfield Arts Center, that actually would influence us, I would think.
But why-
But they didn't seem to have the artists lined up yet.
They don't, they didn't, and they did say location, Georgetown.
They did
Yeah,
say
But
that.
I saw the same, you know, obviously that they'll switch over in
But at the bottom,
January.
beginning January 14th,
Yeah.
2023.
Yeah.
So-
Maybe that was recent, you know, after
the
they.
grant-
It's possible.
grant
Yeah, that
applications
is
could bring them in
possible.
Before.
Weeks ago.
Heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been a couple months, so.
I mean, we've always supported Byfield Community Arts Center and
Yeah.
whatever they were asking for, so this isn't
That's
coming
right, there's
from
no,
that.
there's no application from the BCAC.
No.
They didn't do them last year either, I don't think.
No, I don't think we have one. So it was sort of a maybe for lesser amount, maybe. But again, I was a little unclear because they talked about, I mean, I like the idea of sort of trying to find unique instruments, you know, musicians who were bringing in something different, but they didn't seem to have any specific confirmations as to who that would be.
Yeah, there was stuff from this past year, a
Mhm.
guitar and a didgeridoo or something,
Right,
but not very many events.
no.
But I mean, I think that probably depends on funding as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was more, I agree with Jean's assessment. I was more inclined to probably say yes at a lower amount, as long as I heard it's at the Byfield.
Yeah.
At Georgetown, I was gonna say no.
Yeah.
I sort of agree.
And then last but not least,
So
workshop
here again,
arts.
is that something that we would ask them for a modification to correct that
Yeah, there's a good question.
location?
I don't,
Well, I mean, their website says they are, it implies they are going to be there.
The app says Georgetown.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think that they should just do a modification to
Yeah.
clarify.
Fair is fair.
Give
Yeah.
them a placeholder amount, and a less amount.
Yeah,
Yeah.
250 or something, or less.
I know there's two S's in address.
Oh,
Okay,
well,
it's all right.
we can tell.
Okay, and then theater workshop is last.
I mean, as we have done in the past, it's still one of the largest activities for youth. It is in Newbury. It has a long history in Newbury. And accounting troubles notwithstanding, it seems to me it deserves, you know, support.
Especially with the addition of the acts of kindness,
Yes.
which
It crosses,
thoroughly expanded the scope
Right.
of what they're doing.
right, and reach and
And,
community.
and, you know,
yeah.
and the town of Newbury,
Yeah.
the board of selectmen will love it.
So I think it should be Yeah, fully funded.
I agree. Oh, fully funded? Oh,
I was thinking fully funded.
oh my.
I can't read what that sum is.
We did,
$1,000.
it is correct. Well, that's not correct, I haven't done this one yet. I do
Oh,
that
I
at
mean,
school, my whole
I-
formula.
Why don't you just,
1 second,
yeah,
I believe we
Well,
only
no.
have really 4
They wanted
true
50,000,
in-town,
50,000.
so we still
requests,
have adequate
which would
funding.
we still have
Plum
plenty.
Fest?
We still
Well-
have plenty of money.
I mean, I think that,
We
you
gave
know,
her
we have
100%
Workshop
last year.
Arts, Newbury
So-
Town Day, Newbury
her-
Town Library, and
No.
Plum Fest are really sort of
gave her
the
$1,000.
We gave her
Newbury
1,000, she wanted 50 for
asks.
100.
Oh, did she?
Oh, That's why she asked for $1,000.
That's why she asked for
That's why
1,000.
this
Yeah.
year, so.
So which are the other we have Plum Fest, we have,
Oh, wait, we haven't finished this one, and Lloyd has a
oh,
thought.
I'm sorry.
No, I was said, let's just put it up for the, yes, for 1,000 and
See where it
then,
is.
and then let's see where we are with everything else, right?
That gives us, what is that, 700
So
still
we're-
left?
We still have surplus?
Yes.
Yeah.
That seems
We-
weird.
No,
We
really?
still have $1,365, is that right?
Just double check. Stop
Right.
that.
So can we just for a sec, which of the, did you make a note of it, which are in Newbury? Yeah, obviously Plum Fest, Theater Arts.
I have, Newbury I have as Workshop Arts, Theater Workshop, Newbury Town Day,
Oh, yeah,
Newbury Town Library, Plum
Oh.
Fest.
okay. Thank you.
714, you're correct.
Okay.
So let's look
That's the
through,
balance.
Senior center?
should we look through the maybes and yes or no
Well,
them?
but it was, we were supporting Delvina, not COA, which is sort of, you know, you're right, but it's,
Still,
yeah, it's still sort of a Newbury one.
You
Yeah.
know
So-
which Maudsley is that? Which
so,
group is that?
What
The
we-
400 in yellow?
Well, no, I think the suggestion was, if I can
Okay.
go, is that now we have a few maybes on
I
there.
believe we have 2
Let's look at the
maybes.
maybes, we
Oh,
have
that's right.
$700 and
Yes,
change.
Yes.
So why don't we look through the maybes and give them a once over before we go through the yellows?
Okay.
Well, we didn't give Bluebird anything yet, we just,
And
but
I'd
we
like to
did
give
give it a
Bluebird
yes.
250.
Didn't we, with the modification?
We did not. I would rep Bluebird 250.
Well, we only have 2 maybes, right?
Right, and the other one is the guitarist for the council.
So if we fully funded Bluebird, and then how much do we have left then, 200?
I don't think,
You still have 500 or
Little
so
hesitant
left.
to-
Oh, fully funded, I'm sorry, fully funded, yes, Michelle, you have 214
So you
left.
might be able to do both.
I
Just
am
like-
not a big fan of acoustic memories, myself.
The-
Of what?
you're familiar with it?
No,
Oh, okay.
no,
How much do we have left if we
I would
take
rather,
out
I mean, I'm just, this is my, speaking for
215,
myself.
right? 214?
it's 1
Yeah.
hour.
So you're
So
suggesting
why
what,
don't
250 for Bluebird?
It's 1 hour.
No, if you give them 500, we
500.
still have 214
I thought we,
left.
I thought we talked about doing
I- I
Bluebird
agree.
though at a lesser amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a maybe, so we should do it a lesser amount because we had a lot of yeses at a lesser
Can
amount.
you add the 250 so we can see the total
Yeah.
adjustment?
Right.
Add 250 where?
Bluebird.
Bluebird with a
Second to
yes.
last, yeah.
Are we all agreement on yes, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
so make that a yes. Let's go back and take a look at the yellows.
Okay.
Okay, so the Maudsley we took down.
Wait, don't we still have a maybe?
We do, but it sounds to me like everyone would rather fund other things more than the maybe.
What's the third one in yellow
I'm
that's
sorry.
just off the screen? Oh, that's Plum Fest?
Uh,
Oh, no, that's,
No.
that was
Delvina.
Delvina. So we could take we could fully fund,
I thought we only had one maybe. What's the other maybe?
It's the guitarist.
That's the only one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think to me, the other $200 it's between Plum Fest and Maudsley.
Or the,
Delvina.
Wait,
the,
there's several Mazdas, which one are you talking about?
Or give them each 100.
Why does Plum Fest need so much money? Buses,
Porta
Porta
potties.
potties.
porta potties,
Yeah.
right.
Trash cleanup.
Lord knows
Which
they
one
don't
are you
spend it on
referring to,
cops.
Jean, when you say Maudsley? Because
You
there's
don't
the
need
sculpture,
cops, man.
there's the veterans.
Yeah, are we giving open air sculpture, we did fully fund that one, right, 350? I think we did.
I believe so.
Um,
Yeah.
So there was a comment, I think it was from Margaret, about wanting to fully fund Maudsley.
Oh, that's the
Child
veterans,
Center.
okay, that's a
Right.
different one,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's number
But
8.
we also cut the Plum Fest, which also brings in a lot of people.
Yes.
And
And
is
is
in
in,
our
is in town.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Mm.
A little bit
both
of
of
it's in
those
the
could
report.
go up, you know, or one could go up fully.
How much is left?
That's right, Cynthia Keith.
What
Cynthia
is
Keith was in
left?
Newburyport now.
What's left in terms of the money?
Can we just add 200 to those two?
Sure, which two?
Plum Fest? So that would take it, they asked 800, we proposed 5, let's make that 7. And then the other one was the Maudsley Veterans,
Yes.
Mm.
and I believe, I think you have to go up a little
Right,
bit there.
number
They
8,
asked
thank you.
620, we're
Number-
gonna give them 600,
number 11.
how's that? Or
Is it
make
this one, number
yeah, make-
11?
Doesn't that put us over?
No,
No?
No, I
so
think we then
that's-
have like $20 left.
So say 620, yeah, and see what our number is here.
Okay.
Margaret's
Margaret's
happy.
I'm happy.
You don't have to fight.
44.
We have
$44 left.
There's 44 left.
Well,
We
maybe
can give it to the film festival,
Film
'cause that
festival,
one's
yes.
quite short.
Or
So can we just
Delvina.
now go through?
Oh, yeah, who did, Margaret,
So we
you said
didn't fully fund Delvina, I guess that's the only one
And we
that, I
didn't
question
before.
whether,
that
whether
really
we've given
need
them, whether we've given them enough to actually
Do
get
it.
an event.
Well,
Yes.
they
Which I
ran-
think would
Yes.
be important.
they ran their event this year.
Mm-hmm.
We funded them 300 last year out of 585 requests. So
Why-
they
Why don't we split it, $22 each?
did,
I would do the whole thing because we're chopping one whole program and I would just
Well,
give
we
them the
can't do the whole
44.
thing, but I can give them the 44.
Yeah, 44.
Can I ask one point of clarification?
Yep.
Real quick. In the past, we've, funding for mailings and other things by our committee.
I put aside 150.
Thank you. I just didn't know, I hadn't, so now.
That's
please,
because you thought the meeting started at 6.
That's because you were late.
You know,
We have an executive decision on that, and I did it the year
I think it
before.
was really 6, they told us 6. And then
Yeah.
they did all this
We have the
stuff.
I
business
didn't
of
know it till you
Fine.
guys said.
I just lived my, they've always said this. Okay,
Beautiful, look
I'm
at that.
sorry, I just wanted to make sure that
So,
we could save money for
Bart,
mail.
your treasurer next year,
Yeah.
when you fill that out, you can just put aside, you can put aside, it's like 5%, but I just do 150. We've never used it, but, well, we've never used all of it, but last year Minnie had that banner printed for when we were on the green, so she was reimbursed for that. And honestly, you should be reimbursed for your printer cartridges, because they're not cheap. And my printer's dead.
Yeah.
And honestly, you should be,
So which ones
Refunded for
need to
gasoline.
have modifications possibly?
wait a minute, hold on one second. Oh, there it is.
We did the survey.
The one, the address and the date on
Plumfest
Plum Fest and the
and
address
Bluebird.
on
Who printed
the
survey?
Georgetown one.
Minnie, I think. Did you print the survey? When you
I
did it,
did.
did you print it?
I think I did.
Yeah,
Did you
so
print it,
next
Bart?
year, you
The
can do
Plum
that.
Island one?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Can you go down the bottom, scroll down again? Do you have 651 twice there?
Yeah, that thing is doing nothing.
Okay, so it's not part of the sums. All right,
Nope.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
All right, good.
So do you want to put it, should we put in just the modification
I
possibility?
did.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Modification and modification.
And Catamus,
Containers.
What about
containers?
it?
Will they need it based on their date? Do we
Nope,
know?
that date is correct.
Okay.
I still don't follow that one, but okay, I'll let it go.
Wait, what was the other
That's
one?
safe.
I'm with you
This
on
is
that.
it.
Yeah, it's like, work it out.
I'm with you on that, Judy.
Well, wait a minute, we didn't put any money in there though.
Yeah, we did.
And so we're gonna say no to Sean Fullerton because
Oh, okay.
of lack of local,
Well, doesn't serve enough people.
and lack of local, what's the word?
Endorsement?
No, when you get a letter of recommendation.
Oh,
Reference? No
reference.
references?
Lack of local reference.
No, I put no letter of support,
That's it.
Mhm.
Letter of support.
and it was from the COA, so.
Yeah, he just listed her. He could have found her on Google too.
Yeah.
That's where he found the address. Too few
What's
served.
wrong?
Right. Fixed dates, so fixed dates is from Plum Fest, but there was another one, you're right. Oh, and Bluebird. Oh, I'm so stupid. Modification. modification to fixed dates. Okay,
Okay, so do you have enough reasons
I do.
for all of them?
Which
Well,
one is
there's
that?
at least one blank there, Monica.
Which one is blank below the, what says
Two.
virtual?
Yeah, actually, so
Or the Delvina.
we chose one, right? We
Chose
can't
one.
do two of the same
Yeah.
event for
Yeah,
the same.
right.
No, I'm surprised she was.
But that's not Deldina.
Yes, it is.
Are we
There's
not
two.
allowed
Oh,
to
no,
get
it isn't.
more than
It's
one
not.
blank?
Yeah.
Oh, is that true? I didn't know that.
No, we can, we just don't.
They
Yeah,
just
she's on the
encourage you to
Delvina
spread
one.
it out
Yeah.
a bit.
Virtual and.
Oh,
then
you are,
the-
yes, you are, yeah.
Yes.
We wouldn't fund, Delvina, a lady from
Right, we
Delvina
picked about the
has
murder.
applied in the past for 2 programs. And we always have chosen just one, just because not because it's illegal,
Yeah.
but we spread our money, we spread our funds around,
And
just
we're
exactly
also
what we're doing right now.
encouraged not to year after
Final
year after
point of
year
order.
fund the same.
Do we vote now
Which
to
we are
approve
doing.
this holistically?
Sure.
I think so.
I move that we vote to approve this budget for 2023.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Well done.
Could I
So
ask
could
another
you-
question?
I have another question too, go ahead.
Okay, would you like to go first?
No.
Oh, okay. My question is, what are the exact next steps?
The next steps are, I go into Smart Simple. It's actually very simple, so no pun intended. And you go and, luckily, there's tons of YouTube videos, so as soon as you see them, you're like, oh, of course. So then you go through and you click decline first,
Mhm.
because they have 15 days from when you do it to contest it, and if we have to change our mind, that affects the approvals, and we'd have to meet again. How you do it right now, I don't know, but that's how you do it. That sends them a letter, you wait, and then as soon as those 15 days are up, which I think is Christmas, you do the same thing for approved, and that sends them out automatically.
And they do all they say, you've been approved, we don't have to write letters, we don't have to do the reasoning, nothing like that.
Yeah.
No,
Your-
and they
your
can
tax
contest-
dollars at work.
They can contest it and then it goes basically to the state. We don't really get
Then we
involved.
tell them.
Yeah.
So remember that if they were to contest it, all of your notes are submissible. They do.
All what?
All of your notes are submissible, so they would request that information.
Right.
Or
But
could.
we've put notes into the why, so in your spreadsheet as well.
As long as it follows our Newbury Cultural Council requirements, it's fine, or the state's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone have any other items before?
I just wanted to ask, Bart, you said a moment ago that you printed the surveys.
Mhm.
That would have been for the survey done at Newbury Town Day, correct, in June? And so my follow-up question is, who printed the survey for Plumfest in September?
I did.
You did that as well? Oh,
So you can get
okay,
reimbursed
yeah, you should
for
be
those.
reimbursed.
I mean, if you want to, you have until the 22nd if you have the receipts.
I don't have receipts because I just printed.
From your-
I think
Oh,
you
you
did.
did?
My own printer, yeah.
Okay,
It
here's
just-
how you do it, Bart. You go here, you do the voting meeting, fill that out, fill all this crap out, and here's your decisions.
Mhm.
It's not hard. I promise you, it's not hard. It's very excitingly easy.
Compared to the way
Yeah,
it
'cause you used to have to send letters.
Oh, that was labor intensive, right, Amy? Did you ever do that? Did you ever have to do that?
So as soon as I took over the
We're not
meeting-
even gonna, oh,
Um,
that's right.
So,
Soon as you took over.
and our next meeting is March.
yes.
March meeting is March
20th.
20th at 5:30.
5:30.
So you guys did
5:30.
that while I was gone too?
Yeah, the other thing that we did,
No, that was in your email.
March, what was that?
No, 20th.
just so you know, just for the record, since for you, Bart, and Lloyd, I will go into Smart Simple as Newbury Town Day.
Yeah.
And I will void out the application, because we didn't
I think,
understand.
Robin, I think I need you to do that as soon as you
Okay.
can, because I don't think I'll be able to submit approvals until
Okay.
June.
Okay, yep.
If we haven't addressed each one.
Yeah, but I do, so Bart, when you do the financial report, it's actually super easy as well. You get the statement from Eileen, the town accountant, and you fill it out.
Okay.
Could not be easier.
So-
But I'll have to go in and put in the 651.
Okay,
which will then-
when do I have to do that?
It's due by October 17th. She will send you the information probably in August. She sends
Oh,
it
okay.
way ahead of time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That-
she's
that's
fantastic.
plenty of time for me to
Yeah.
figure all that.
So,
Okay.
it- all right, let's say everything goes through, everyone gets their letters. The modifications, do we want to propose that we do that in March? Do we need to do that beforehand? What
You
it-
can't do it until they send them.
March 20th.
Okay,
Yeah,
5:30.
then I'll let you know.
and are any of these
Actually,
events
I'll
taking place
email
before
them.
March?
Oh,
No.
I even have.
Okay, so maybe we could do it at that
Check your
meeting.
date
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it
Oh, we don't
came
have
through
to-
Zoom.
Otherwise, we'd have to have another meeting,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll
That is part of the reason
send
why
it
I
from, because I
screwed up
can't
tonight.
log into
Yeah,
the
I don't use this
town's
calendar
cultural council
normally.
address.
I don't
have
either,
the
that's
login.
why I'm
So I'll send
saying.
it from
It's right there
ours,
saying
mine,
Yeah.
and then
Pacific
CC
time.
that, and then you'll get it,
okay,
so you know it's.
okay, all right. Any other items?
One thing I did read whenever I was reading all the rules recently is that it's supposed to be just one person. I can't even believe they make you do this. So you have to come all the way here, get the paperwork, you have to go back to the person, get the W-9, et cetera, et cetera. 2 people have to sign the reimbursement form.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be the treasurer and another person, always that other person. So I've been going between the 2 of you.
Mm-hmm,
And that's, apparently that's not okay.
I guess not, but you know what?
why?
Because they have to make it as difficult as possible.
That's
Yeah, I would say
That's
so.
why.
So I don't understand, can you,
It's just one other person is authorized.
oh, anyone?
She doesn't know the answer.
One.
Well,
You can't, it
You
has
can
to
always
be two
argue
other
they're
people.
No,
Form.
I can, and then only one other person.
Oh, I see,
But
all
their
right.
form says LCC member, so
I know, I'm just.
They
gonna
don't make
pretend
it
I didn't
Well,
do
just
anything.
ask me,
They
because I'm
changed the rules.
closest.
Yeah, usually I just go to Michelle, because she's crossed it off, right. But sometimes I mix it up.
Yeah, no, that's fine. All right, vote to adjourn, a
Second.
proposal to vote to
Second.
adjourn.
Yeah, I would like to give you a very quick update on Newbury Town Day, but we don't have to do it in the recorded meeting.
No, we can do it now.
I can do it.
All right, first of all, in case you missed it, the date is August 26th next year. So the kickoff will be at town meeting in April, when we really start publicizing it. We'll have a planning meeting. Last year, our first planning meeting, 2021, was in May. So this year, because it's now an entity, we don't have to plan so far in advance, which is gonna help a great deal, because then people will be more interested in getting involved. So we'll have a town-wide planning meeting, probably in May after town meeting, and then over the summer is when the people will be working on their activities. So that's the.
Do you have any different
January.
activities coming up yet? I mean,
Oh,
has
you know
anyone
what?
approached you?
Yes. It's fuzzy.
Yeah.
And Margaret's gonna be in Ireland,
Oh,
so we don't know what's gonna happen with the open studios. But yes, and I would actually prefer this not to be on public.
Just hit
Well,
the
we'll
button on the side.
Okay, meeting adjourned, see ya.
Meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned. Bye.